All right. Hello again and welcome to another episode of Code This. My name is Trey Hope, the developer. I hope everyone's having a good Father's Day. It is Sunday, June 21st, 2020. I'm actually about to head out in a little bit, but I wanted to shoot a quick video talking about Flutter BLoC pattern with you all. So with that said, if you're familiar with BLoC, maybe you're not, that's probably why you're watching this video. The Flutter BLoC pattern is, BLoC is a design pattern where you separate business logic from the UI. So instead of having all the code that, actually handles interactions with your database and stuff like that, in the design part, you separate that so it's easier to actually test and see where bugs might be and things like that. So there's 4 parts to the BLoC design pattern, and that is the UI, events, states, and then data. All right, UI, events, states, data. UI is the visual representation. The state is the state of the app, if it's an error state or a success state, just different conditions of the app. The event is any interaction with the app, and then the data is the actual data that's in the database. So we'll go ahead and jump into that right now. I have a demonstration of how we'll do a login with Flutter BLoC pattern, okay? So first, we'll talk about the states. The login state, as I said, is the state of the app. So we have, 4 states. The first state that we have is the loading state. That's pretty much the state where we're actually just loading up some data, or any type of time, or any time the app is working in the background and we don't want to stall the user when they're actually interacting with it. All right. Then we have the initial state, which is just the first state of the app. Let me refresh this because I got the last example up. The initial state, which is this state right here. This is just the first state of the app after it loads up. And then we have the success state, which is going to be the state where if the login was successful, we'll show that state. And then the error state is the state where something went bad or it failed. All right. So this is our states. Then we have the UI, which is our login page. All right. And this pretty much takes in a block builder right here. So there's usually a scaffold for the beginning of the app, and then on top of the body is where you'll pass in a block builder. And let me explain where I got these classes from. I should have did that at the beginning. You'll need to download Flutter BLoC, which is on version 4.00, and you'll also need to download Equatable, which is on version 1.1.1, at least from my recent findings. It might be on a newer version. But essentially, Equatable allows us to compare classes and override the double equal sign operator. And then the Flutter BLoC is actually just some out-of-the-box tools that allow us to implement the BLoC design pattern on our own. All right. So back to the page, the login page, right? Takes in a block builder. We'll pass in a login block and login state. And this is where we'll say, all right, based on whatever state we're in the app, we want to show this part of the UI. So when we are loading, like I said, we're in the loading state. We want to show this spinner, just saying that, hey, we're loading, give us a second. All right. Then the initial state, this is the state, like the first state of the app. Okay. So if we're in that state, we just want to show the form, the email form, the password, input box, all that, and the button to actually log in. Then if we have the success state, we're going to say success, you were logged in. And then the error state, we're going to show what the error was. Okay. And then down here, we just return the container, but you should never see this because the app will always be in one of the other 4 states. So let's go ahead. Oh, I got to explain the event. Oh, there's one login event. Okay. The login event is the event that takes place when we hit the login button. So once we hit login, this event is called, and we pass in the email and password from the UI to this event. Okay. And last but not least, the most important part of the BLoC design pattern, the login block. So this takes in or overrides 2 methods, right? It has an initial state method, which is pretty much the first state of the app, and that's going to be our initial state. And then we have a method called map event to state, and that is it's an asynchronous function because it's going to be constantly moving through the background. It's always going to be listening for events, and when an event takes place, we do some calculations and update the state. So for example, the only event that we have for this app right now is the login. So when login takes place, one, I'm gonna just run through it while we're here. You know what I mean? You might as well. You're here with me. Let's go ahead and just run through it. So over here we have our form. I'm gonna try to log in with no information in the fields first, okay? So I'll just hit log in. All right, so the event, it listened and said, hey, login just happened. Now it's time to work. So the first thing that's gonna happen is we're gonna display the loading screen. Now, the yield keyword pretty much says it's different from the return keyword because return ends the function and it's done because it gives you the data. But the yield says, hold on to this for a second. I'm gonna still be working in the background, but I might give you something different in a little minute, all right? So we're gonna pretty much say, hold this loading state for us for a second. So after it does that, then we're gonna actually do our procedure to sign in with email and password. So I have a auth service already set up. So pretty much it's just a Firebase authentication login. I pass in email and password. If it's successful, it keeps going. If it fails, it throws an error. So we're here, it does the login, but it's going to the error state because it wasn't a successful login. All right, so the try-catch block caught the error. Now we're in the error state. And as you can see over here with the UI, it's in the loading state still, but it's about to update to the error state. So let's go ahead and run through that. And as you can see here, we'll go back to our login page. When it's in the error state, it shows the error message, and the message says error, wrong password. All right. So now I'm gonna log in with my actual email and password. Okay. Might have to blank this out because I don't want y'all. Hope you didn't catch that. But anyways, so I put in the right email and password. Now I'm about to hit login. All right. So it's about to do it again. Hey, display the loading state because we're working right now. It's going to try to log in. All right. And this time it actually was successful because I had the right email and password. So instead of going to the error state like last time, we're going to go to the success state. So go ahead and run through that. Now it says success, you're logged in. If we go back to our login page, when it's in the success state, it says just that, success, you were logged in. So essentially, that's how you do the block design pattern. It gets deeper as far as what you can do with it and some of the other keywords that it has for you. But just the service level of it, just know that it's UI, events, states, and data, and then how you interact with all four of those just in an asynchronous manner. So it's constantly moving through your app. Makes it very easy to test, very easy to watch for bugs. I highly recommend it for anyone that's using Flutter for their development. If this video was helpful to you, share it, give me some comments, like it, give me any feedback. All feedback is good feedback, and I appreciate it. Until next time, I will see you later. Much love and happy Father's Day. Peace.